So
Yeah.
it was interesting. So I'm kind of focused on this, focused on Rumble, trying to grow the audience here at Rumble, and trying to build this podcast into something cool. So
Yeah, that's
that's
it.
where my focus is.
Yeah, like to be honest, we reached out to each other really randomly, like a couple of months ago now, and it looked like we both were thinking about doing something similar to this.
Yep.
And because I wanted to get into MMA content because I can talk about it all day, and so that was what I was going to focus on. I was going to focus more on like MMA documentaries and stuff, and then we reached out to each other, and then I thought, you know what, instead of that, we could just do a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and then that way I'm jumping into the MMA side of things, and then I
Mm-hmm.
can focus more on like longer projects
Mm-hmm.
for my own YouTube, if
Right.
that makes any sense.
Yeah. And sorry, it's hard to talk about. But the reason I really wanted to do this is 2 years ago, I lost my brother, and that was my best friend. He was my little brother. He's younger than me. I lost him unexpectedly. He was 33, and before he passed away, like the month before, we were going to start a podcast. He was getting a new computer. He was going to buy a microphone, and we were going to start an MMA podcast. And then tragically he passed, and it literally took me 2 years to find the courage, I guess, the I don't even know the words, like to find it in me to be able to say it's okay to do this, because this is
Yeah,
something he wanted us to, or he wanted to do, and this is something he wanted to do with me. So it's okay to do what we wanted to do, because it's kind of like fulfilling that legacy with my brother. So I reached out because we had a good rapport, and we had a podcast before, and I looked at some of our old stuff, and there was a lot of good chemistry as far as the back and forth. So I was like, hey man, this is all private, but I was looking at our old podcasts, and I thought we had a good thing. So if you ever want to get back into it, give me a shout. And
yeah.
you were down for it, and I appreciate it, man. It's because
No, yeah.
I was ready for it. I started to get
No,
heavy like
same.
that, but it's,
No,
I
it's
think it was important to
understandable.
kind of tell the story of, literally, I took 2 years off of like social media in general. Like I deactivated Twitter. I
Yeah.
quit basically posting on um, Instagram, my YouTube. I was like maybe once every few months just doing something, and I was just in a bad state. And
Oh yeah,
I'm
you're in
back.
Florida, mate. Sorry, I shouldn't joke. I shouldn't joke.